Kate Middleton paid tribute to Queen Elizabeth with her fashion on the first anniversary of the monarch's death. The Princess of Wales and her husband, Prince William, visited St. David's Cathedral in Wales on September 8th to mark 1 year since the Queen's passing. For the important occasion, Kate accessorized with a special pair of earrings that previously belonged to the Queen. The pearl and diamond drop earrings were a favorite of her late mother-in-law's, and Kate wore them often during the period of royal mourning last year, including to meet Commonwealth troops participating in the Queen's funeral and while greeting well-wishers in Sandringham. For their new outing at St. David's Cathedral, Kate paired the pearls with a burgundy coat dress, the same one she wore to her 2022 Christmas Carol service, and she added a matching hat. She and William were welcomed inside the church, where they viewed a portrait of the Queen. The royal couple shared a photo of the moment on social media and wrote, "A moment of reflection at St. David's Cathedral, honoring Her late Majesty and all that she did for communities like this around the UK, the Commonwealth, and the world." Later in the day, Kate and William visited the St. David's RNLI lifeboat station, a meaningful visit, considering the Queen's history with the Royal National Lifeboat Institution. The couple wrote on Instagram, "Her late Majesty was patron of RNLI for 70 years, even meeting them here in St. David's. So it was a pleasure to meet its current crew and some of those supported by the unit, as we remember her today." While Kate and William honored the Queen in Wales, King Charles and Queen Camilla remembered her as they stepped out for a church service in Scotland. The King also shared an audio message in tribute to his late mother.
"In marking the first anniversary of Her late Majesty's death and my accession, we recall with great affection her long life, devoted service, and all she meant to so many of us. I am deeply grateful too for the love and support that has been shown to my wife and myself during this year, as we do our utmost to be of service to you all."
As DailyMail.com's Charlie Langston previously told Access Hollywood, King Charles has taken steps to modernize the monarchy over the past year, while also continuing Queen Elizabeth's legacy.
In the years since the Queen passed away, I think we've seen the monarchy edging more towards a modern ethos. It really has been a kind of changing of the guard, and the Queen represented the final vestige of that kind of old world monarchy. Charles, on the other hand, is trying very much to push things forward into the future without compromising the traditions and the kind of morals that his mother held so dear. He's slimmed down the senior monarchy in a very major way. He's taken steps to kind of, trim the fat, as it were, where Queen Elizabeth II kind of wavered when it came to people like Prince Harry and Prince Andrew. Prince Charles, or King Charles as he now is known, has really, taken no prisoners. He's cut those people out of the senior royal lineup with immediate effect. And I think that it's had a really great impact as far as proving to the world that the British monarchy is not stuffy, that it has the ability to evolve. And I think he's really paving the way for his son, Prince William, to one day take over and really kind of transform the monarchy once and for all. I think the Queen would be very impressed. I think there was nervousness all around when it came to the idea of Charles taking over the throne, simply because how do you compete with the reputation and the likability of a woman who was as adored as the Queen? And there were fears that Charles, who was widely seen as being much more stuffy, much more snobby than his mother, there were fears that he wasn't going to win the hearts of the British public. But I think he's actually done a really great job of showing a bit more emotion, of being a bit more open to the public. And that speech that he gave after his mother's death was really a signifier of things to come. It wasn't the Charles that we're used to seeing, a bit kind of reserved, a bit held back, a bit uncomfortable in front of the cameras. It was an emotional, honest, and candid version of Charles. And I think he's managed to maintain some of that in the first year of his reign. And that's been really wonderful for people to see. And I think his mother would be very proud of that. The royal family is always going to have the memory of the Queen embedded in it. It would be impossible for anyone to go about any royal business without the Queen's presence there in some way, shape, or form. Because really the Queen created what the monarchy is today and then ruled over it for many years to come. We see the royal family paying tribute to her in a number of different ways. First and foremost, they will talk albeit occasionally, about the impact that she has had and about how much they want to honor her memory and make her proud. They also pay tribute to her in the way that they go about things. You know, no one's slacked, no one's pulled back. They've maintained all of the causes, all of the charities that were incredibly dear to the Queen's heart. You know, we've seen appearances at Royal Ascot, for example, which we know was one of the Queen's favorite events of the year. And we've really seen the royal family coming together in order to kind of, you know, reignite the excitement about the royal family as a whole. The royals have dealt with a huge amount of scandal and controversy in recent years. The Queen's death was the final kind of devastating blow for the monarchy in what had been a very difficult period. And the kind of remaining royals have really done their best to focus on the Queen's positive legacy and less so on all of the other stuff that kind of swirled around the monarchy during her final years. And I think that's something that they've been really eager to do. They don't want the monarchy and the Queen's legacy to be bogged down in scandal, whether it's Prince Andrew, whether it's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. What they want to do is remind people that the Queen saw the monarchy as a force for good and that their roles are about service and not about scandal. There have been multiple reports surfacing that a memorial to the Queen will be erected in London. Now, it was actually rumored as far back as 2013 that a statue honoring the Queen would be placed in Trafalgar Square. There is what's known as the fourth plinth in Trafalgar Square, which was said to have been reserved for the Queen many, many years ago. However, that has caused some controversy because many people believe that the Queen deserves her own space, as it were, and that she shouldn't have to share the spotlight with 3 other statues that currently sit in that area. Now, a statue honoring the Queen and her corgis has actually already begun being created. However, it's unclear whether that is the statue that will ultimately end up in London. But I do think that it makes sense for the Queen to have some kind of tribute. And I think that it would be a wonderful way for royal fans, for those who want to honor her memory, to have somewhere to be able to go that isn't one of her palaces, which are currently being occupied by other members of the royal family, but rather a dedicated space where people can show their respect and honor her memory in a really wonderful way.